started with silence. A house in the village of Anchal, Kollam district. No sound, no movement, and then a scream. A grandmother returned home to find her daughter and two newborn granddaughters brutally murdered. No forced entry, no robbery, just 3 lives lost, and no one could explain why. This is the Ranjini triple murder case, one of Kerala's most chilling unsolved crimes. A case that remained frozen in time for 19 years, until artificial intelligence did what humans couldn't. It found the killer. April 2006, Anchal, a peaceful town in Kerala's Kollam district. Ranjini, just 24 years old, was a young mother to twin baby girls, only 17 days old. They lived with her mother, Santama, in a modest home surrounded by trees and quiet lanes. On that day, Santama returned from the local Panchayat office. She walked in and froze. There, inside their home, were the bodies of her daughter and both granddaughters. Throats slit, no sign of struggle, no robbery, just silence and blood. The village erupted in shock. 3 lives wiped out in minutes, and no one had seen or heard a thing. Local police began questioning everyone close to Ranjini. She had recently been in a relationship with a man named Divil Kumar, a soldier in the Indian Army. But there was trouble. Ranjini had claimed Divil was the father of her twins. Divil denied it. A DNA test had been ordered, and court proceedings were underway. Was that a motive? Soon, suspicion turned toward Divil and his army friend, Rajesh, also stationed in Pathankot at the time. But both men disappeared. Police couldn't track them. Military connections didn't yield much. And without solid evidence, no arrests could be made. The trail went cold, and the case was shelved. For years, the case sat untouched, a dusty file buried in the archives of the Kerala Police Department. No witnesses, no confession, no closure. Ranjini's family was devastated. The twins never got justice. The community stopped talking about it. The horror faded, but never disappeared. And then, everything changed. In 2023, the Kerala Police formed a Special Technical Intelligence Unit, a small team with one mission: reopen cold cases using advanced technology. They digitized old photos, used facial recognition across national and global databases. And then, one evening, a match. A man in Puducherry, running an interior design business, new identity, new life. But his face matched a 19-year-old military ID. It was Divil Kumar. Divil had reinvented himself completely. Fake documents, fake name. He now went by Vishnu, and he'd lived for years without raising suspicion. Police quietly tracked him, watched his movements, and when they were sure, they moved in. He didn't resist, but he didn't confess either. Back in Kerala, DNA samples were retested, this time using modern forensic labs. The results? He was the biological father of the twins. When police confronted him, his silence cracked. Investigators believe the motive was chillingly simple. He didn't want to take responsibility. He didn't want to be exposed, so he eliminated them. Ranjini, and both of his daughters, and his friend Rajesh. He was found shortly after, living under another false identity. In 2025, 19 years after the murders, the case was finally closed. The arrests made headlines. Justice, though long delayed, had arrived. Not by a confession, not by chance, but by AI. A machine had done what an entire generation of investigators couldn't. It had connected the face of a killer to the ghost of a crime. And it gave a voice to those who had none. Ranjini's story is one of heartbreak, of how love turned into denial, and denial into something unspeakable. But But it's also a story of how technology can uncover buried truths, how justice doesn't die with time, it waits until someone or something finds the truth. If this story stunned you, hit the like button. Comment your thoughts. Should crimes this old still be pursued with tech like AI? And if you're ready for more real crime stories that twist deeper with every fact uncovered, subscribe, because the next story might be buried in silence too.